They can go Grok, honestly.
Now you mention it. What if the Cho is the jungler?
Oh, that is a possibility.
Still a flex.
But they'll need to pick up a roamer with a good enough peel, if that's the case.
There's still a lot of peel.
Yeah, because that's going to be a lot of pressure into the Cho, if ever.
We still don't know what Marco's playing. Lance and Ling are still out there.
Yeah.
And the Akai. They have the Akai too.
Yeah, we've seen him on a good performance on the Akai.
Kyle plays a good Akai, yeah.
Yeah.
Akai TZ, yeah.
2 out of 5.
Is he?
Yeah.
You see BREN Esports considering all their options.
What is that?
That's
Oh!
It's Hellkurt!
Coach Ducky did mention there were a list of heroes that they wanted to break out. Heroes that they've been practicing in scrims with. One of them was the Minotaur, but this is not the Minotaur. This is the Hellkurt!
Lights out! It's lights out for BREN Esports. Now, how is the NXPE EVOS going to respond to this? With the flex that they have right now, it's time to settle the score.
Holy.
I like the Lolita.
Holy smokes, yeah, the Lolita pickup.
Amazing pickup.
The Hellkurt too. They just really have to time their abilities well. How was the jungler here? Is it... Again, the options right now are slim because you're thinking about the Valentina. Are you going to go tanky? Akai at this point looks like a question that they can go assassin themselves. Oh, they still think into the Akai.
They were forced.
Yeah, they were forced. It felt like they were forced into it.
It makes sense though.
Yeah.
At this point, when push comes to shove, yeah, there's a Valentina on the other end, but hey man, they picked up the Hellkurt.
Yeah.
It's gonna be difficult though. I'm only imagining when the Dark Knight does fall, how do you find your targets? How do you know where to go? Where do you push your opponents into? Like, you have to play with memory.
Yeah, I remember we had a joke about this back in MPL Philippines Season 10. One of the things you can do to go up against a Farsa who is already in herself blind is to pick up a Hellkurt who makes everyone else even blind. So you're double blinding the Farsa. And we've seen it before. Push comes to shove, if the timing ain't right, if it's been a while since you're up against a Hellkurt, Farsa players will get surprised and like, oh, wait, I don't see anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it forces out a lot of resources from all the members of NEXPLAY EVOS. So let's find out how BREN Esports, with their debut pick, with debut player right here in week number 6. Let's see how this one goes up against NEXPLAY EVOS.
Oh, that's a Demon Slayer on this Hellkurt though.
Oh, okay.
See how it's clear.
What's the balance right here? So Demon Slayer sacrifices damage, so a bit of a shift. I mean,
it allows you to contest for objectives.
Yeah, much better. And at the same time, I feel like Hellkurt is one of those heroes who will still have a lot of damage as long as he got those stingers up.
He will. The DPS.
Yeah. It'll always be there.
Oh, look at this. They understand that there might be a big rotation on Ding since mid lane roam duo kind of left. But I wonder what's going on. How did Domin get down to that low, like half health there? Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Like a good amount of poke damage.
Who took it?
Force and poke right onto BREN Esports.
Oh wow, Few took it.
Oh, Few
did he? Oh.
Yeah, Boyet didn't even pop the retry.
Yeah.
Interesting.
At the side of BREN. So NEXPLAY EVOS are going for their own top side rotation. See if they can pressure Super Marco early on.
That's 3 on Marco, forcing the flicker. He gets out. Now Ogwin on the scene. All is well.
Yeah. Well, there is still a flicker on the hands of Brusco, though. He didn't need to use that to get close to Super Marco. That's a win for NEXPLAY EVOS in the smaller picture, but Super Marco is still able to get the last hit onto that gold crab.
They're still going back to the keys to victory. And don't let Super Marco breathe in-game, because there's 2 ways that they need to worry about the problems. The damage from a Hellkurt and a possible scaling damage for a Matrix. So one hero at a time, as they say, so as they complete their slow progress up against BREN Esports.
Well, 8 seconds before the turtle spawns. Both junglers at level 4 will have access to their ultimates. Roamers right now, still both level 3. Brusco farther to level 3 than Ogwin is. Might be a question. Oh, there we go. Ogwin already level 4 there.
Ding as well.
A lot of ultimates available.
We're waiting. I wonder what Kyle TZ is up to. He's looking at both his orange and his purple. There's a pull by Flap. I'm guessing they've made that connection. They made the call. 3 here for NEXPLAY EVOS, and turtle resets.
Yeah, could be NEXPLAY all the way for this one.
Oh, there it is. The heavy spin, displacing Flap. Easy Dark Knight falls. Where do they go? Who do they see? That's one way to push away your opponents when they're contesting for turtle. And there's a grab, and a heavy spin of their own. Kyle TZ secures the turtle. All the while they drop first blood on Boyet.
Amazing play. They let out the Dark Knight Falls, and who knows who are they going to be up next. That was still, again, FlapTZ pulling the team for NXPE to not contest the first objective of the game.
Yeah, and you see there the big utility of the Dark Knight Falls. NEXPLAY EVOS probably had a bit of an idea that Kyle TZ was getting his purple buff, but once that Dark Knight Falls goes out, you will play safe and you will back off. Even though NEXPLAY EVOS had a good position there at the beginning, the moment that ultimate from the Hellcurt went down, they backed off. And I wouldn't be surprised if the next approaches of BREN Esports will be like that. Let the other members of BREN get to the turtle first, then just wait for Kyle TZ to pop the Dark Knight Falls, and then they engage.
Yeah, let them make the first move a safe way for NXP to use, because right now, if with the threat right now of Kyle TZ using the Hellcurt, this gives you, well, a lot of spaces to even hesitate, to stay, or even take one counter hit.
Yeah, it's out of the game mechanics. Like, literally, you can't see what's going on. You can't make the right decisions. And we saw it in action, in practice, what that looks like.
Okay, so right now they need to be on the lane. So
Oh,
Brusco,
Numinal Blast, catching one. That's all she wrote. Brusco falls.
Yeah, that was just textbook by BREN Esports. Ogwen had the information that Brusco didn't have his flicker yet, so he didn't need to expand his flicker. Just a normal use of a Numinal Blast, and great response there by BREN.
okay, now they're forced out a rotation onto NXPE. And three members of 3-0 slowly, missing that sniper shot up top. I say they're taking it slow, calculating more of the times that the items that they can get, when they can actually use up against BREN.
Yeah, both XP laners cutting right now, but that's going to be Kyle TZ finding Ding. Ding gets away.
Wow. FlapTZ introducing himself to the inhibitor down bottom. That's amazing. Look how cheap he was.
Yeah.
Oh, Brusco spots out Few. Few has the heavy spin, so once again, something to watch out for. If FlapTZ gets the grab of a century, Yelly Hayes or Boyet.
Oh, flicker.
Oh, there's a kick. Better airstrike coming in. Heavy spin on heavy spin. It's Beyblade. Let her rip. Both of them let go. The split by FlapTZ. Another clean turtle take by BREN.
Amazing mechanics. Still the same thing all over again. Somebody turned off the switch, and we're going to take the turtle right away. And everybody just goes, oh, retreat back.
Man, BREN Esports right now, they're making that usage of the Hellcurt ultimate look so easy. The moment Dark Knight falls, NEXPLAY goes, huh, what do we do? And then it just throws them off their game. They can't contest the major objectives. They're going to have to find a way around this. If not, BREN Esports are going to walk away with all turtles in this game.
With that being said, I think they need more defense items to hold their ground. They need more time to do it because they keep on going back and forth. They're missing out the trades. Yes, you're playing it safe, but you're losing the major objective that your team needs.
That's why there's a lot of pants here. Like, there's at least 2 pairs of steel leg plates on NEXPLAY EVOS already, and the Dreadnought armor.
Get a good amount of armor early on. And oh, Ogwenda might get caught out.
Oh, puts up the bulwark. And Brusco, almost half health. FlapTZ obliges. Wow, NEXPLAY EVOS pushed that bush behind their tier 1 up top. This is difficult. You really feel where this 3K gold lead is coming in from. Now the conceal, Few spots it almost immediately.
Oh, well, Dami gets sniped also.
Ow!
Look at all the pressure right now by BREN. Ding, though, alleviating a bit of that. The moment he saw the Hellcurt, he was just, I'm going to back off.
That's what was happening. Look, he's going to force it. Look, sorted that in.
Okay.
There you
Take
go.
down the turret. Well, the waiting game still prevails a bit for NEXPLAY EVOS, slowly taking those wins on the defenses down of BREN Esports.
Yeah, despite everything, NEXPLAY EVOS will still walk away with the first turret of the game, knowing that eventually BREN Esports will be able to break up top. But they're, again, this calls back to the game that NEXPLAY EVOS had earlier this season, where they just focused on the investment into doming, and it looks like that is going to be the game plan here. It really will just be, let's help doming out. We might lose the turtles. They really are at this point. But as long as doming is farmed up and has damage, they'll have their main condition available for them and close to Super Marco.
And we haven't yet seen what that looks like when Doming finally fights back and the Hellcurt does. The Dark Knight falls. Yelly Hayes flying into the scene. Numinal Blast sent in, plus a heavy spin. Marco gets a turtle, and now it's just pandemonium released onto this. And Yelly Hayes falls. Marco gets another. This is difficult, BREN Esports. in the driver's seat.
They were all over the place. They had the knock-up that showed the initiation from Brusco there was perfect. But when they used the Dark Knight Falls, hold that thought.
Boyet!
Oh! My goodness. We have to mention here an unsung hero for this game so far has been Flapteezy. He's been having the time of his life as a glue right now. As Ding is usually put into clear side lane duty, he was there, but right now NextPlay EVOS don't have an answer yet for the glue of BREN Esports. And BREN Esports are just sticking to the game plan around this glue.
Man, looking up on the last one. Oh, look. Brusco.
Another one. That's deja vu from earlier. Maybe moved up a little bit past the river. Brusco falls.
Out of position, and they were all over the place. Once the ultimate is up for Kyle Teasy to use, everybody's like pushing away everything and backing out. It's one problem because they're putting NextPlay EVOS in a tight corner facing the wall.
Yeah, and the past engagements we saw here, it's not the feathered airstrike Few is getting, it's always been, well, most of the time, the heavy spin of the Akai. And the heavy spin, along with the ultimate of the Lolita, along with the Dark Knight Falls, there's so many deterrents that BREN Esports has that the moment NextPlay EVOS wants to do something, once they see those ultimates, or since they're blinded by the Hellcurt, they don't see anything.
Oh, watch out,
They
Brusco
immediately
and Ding.
have to back off.
Okay, I thought they were gonna get sandwiched. Close call. You were saying?
That was it.
Thank you so much for that thought, because right now it really makes a point on how NXPE EVOS would even answer those mistakes, because at every point that they wanted to take an objective, it's still the same thing all over again. Either they take him by surprise or they isolate one down. Because there's two tanky members who being up in the front line of BREN Esports. That's a big of a problem.
And it's not like once you get through those tanks, it's over. They've built up. They've really made the most of this 8K gold lead they have. That makes taking this Lord all the more easy. Like, they didn't even sweat.
No. They just melted like butter. BREN Esports knocking in to the second tier turn of this game. Oh, NXPLAY EVOS.
Not a single kill for NextPlay, by the way.
Yeah, that's 6-0. And the gold lead is almost, well, it's 9K. Oh, look at the damage onto Yelly Hayes. Ow!
Oh, the kick!
And they catch Flap. A few feathered airstrikes here, but the split spin will keep him alive. And still no dice. NextPlay was able to push back BREN Esports.
As much as NextPlay EVOS, specifically Brusco, wants to find other targets, at this point he's just taking what he can get, which is Flap. But at this point, Flap is so built up that he can survive. He's buffed up. He has all the items that he needs.
Still has a flicker too. Now here comes BREN 6-man. Here comes the Lord. The Newman on blast coming in. No one home. And just like that, can they defend? Oh, Inhibitor's gonna fall here.
Dark Knight Falls has been used.
Oh, heavy spin, but it's not gonna be enough. Kyle Teasy takes down Boyet. And Kelly Hayes, a feathered airstrike of desperation. Oh, this is dangerous. Look at how low the members of NextPlay was on base. And Super Margo takes down Ding point blank.
I call that Ding was trying to pull up members of BREN Esports, not to take everybody out. And they still want to defend.
Oh, gentlemen, NextPlay EVOS has yet to secure a kill. It's an 11,000 gold lead. 11 minutes in. Total domination by BREN. My goodness, NextPlay EVOS has no breathing room here. And surprisingly enough, for how tanky it feels like Flapteezy has been, he's only full build 2 items, an Athena shield and a blade armor. He's just picking up pieces of his other items right now. And honestly, that's been a trend this season where we've seen players not actually full building items, especially when they find themselves in the lead, where they just get pieces of specific things, knowing that it's more than enough. And because with how much defense steel leg plates give, at around 40-45, if I'm not mistaken, it's such a good item to build up.
It's the chop build.
Look about an inch up, man. Look at that item. What's that called? We don't see it very often. It's a sea halberd.
Yeah. A second item prioritized actually by Kyle Teasy.
It got buffed.
Almost half HP right there. And on the player's gold, Super Marco is leading up the charts. And going back to your point, boys, that's one way. That's one way to deal damage.
Yep. It looks like a jungle assassin with the sea halberd with the new punish mechanic of that item, increasing damage by 8% against enemy heroes with more extra HP. What kind of jungler is KTZ up against? Well, a tanky Akai.
Yup, speaking of the tankiest members of NXP, only 2 members could hold the line. And if one pickup fails, it all falls down for NXP to have a counter punish. So they need to make sure their angles are in the right position. Oh, look! Oh, Peel.
Oh, it's hard to be Brusco now. Boyet, heavy spin, isolating Super Marco, but Super Marco obliges with a flicker on out. Ying uses the electro final blow.
Oh my!
But Marco still finds his mark, taking down Boyet on the way back to his base. Still nothing for NEXPLAY.
Oh,
Yikes.
no.
Here comes Ogwen.
Oh,
Massive.
folks,
Bang.
that's a Numenon blast just to really put it in. Doming falls. The inhibitor down bottom falls. Yelly Hayes couldn't pop him with the feathered airstrike. Here comes Few with his own. Brusco falls as well. It's just Ding and Yelly Hayes left to defend. Can Ding find one? Super Marco pops the win chant. Super Marco is godlike. And just like that, BREN ESPORTS take us to Game 3.
What a day! You were talking about earlier about performances. Well, taking the game number 3 for a tiebreaker for the second match of the day. BREN ESPORTS bouncing back.
NEXPLAY EVOS said, we've made it to the pro scene.